I just thought it was crazy.
Just moments after a crash,
I thought his car was going to start on fire.
Near Locust and Farwell,
and then all of a sudden the car came out of nowhere.
A neighborhood comes together.
And then we looked out the window and saw him go all the way up.
In confusion.
His rear tire just kept burning and burning and burning and burning.
A van headed eastbound slams into the front porch of a home on the corner.
Yeah, I just heard a big smack.
Hitting 2 parked cars along the way.
Yeah, he was spinning his tires.
I just called.
Witnesses call for help while the driver sits behind the wheel.
It looked to me that he may have been going in and out of consciousness.
Neighbors wait for first responders.
Stay in the car,
as the driver ignores
we have
them.
an ambulance coming for you.
Instead, he walks off in the same direction his van was once headed.
The person that's...
It prompts another call.
It just left the scene on foot.
To 911.
He's walking east down Locust Street.
Moments later, Milwaukee Fire and police take over.
The guy in the red jacket right there.
Stopping the man in his tracks.
I just casually just walked on the block.
Police investigate an accident witnesses say could have been much worse.
Yeah, it could have been.
Neighbors grateful.
Another day in Milwaukee.
It wasn't.
They yelled at me to call 911.
Elizabeth Wyro says this started small. She says it started in the end unit of this building used as a transmission shop.
Within 10-15 minutes was bursting out of the front of his shop.
She says they did what they could to save the vehicles stored in the attached units or parked nearby, many of them classic cars.
That truck that's in there is like his baby.
It was crazy. I don't know. We were frantic. We have a lot of vehicles around that building, so it was get them away as fast as we could.
Soon the fire department arrived, a little after 2:30.
They just kept coming.
About 15 different departments from Wisconsin and Illinois.
They're working hard. They're back and forth to the lake to get water to put it out.
That's because there's no hydrants nearby. First, though, they used Salem's water tower, having to stop when it was alarmingly low. Officials say any lower could have threatened the town's water supply.
Very scary to look at it and see it go down and then come back up and the flames shoot through the black smoke. It's very scary.
That went on for about 4 hours until they finally got the flames under control. But the building is a total loss.
It's tragic because, I mean, that's a lot of people's lives right there, and it's gone now pretty much.
On Milwaukee's south side, hundreds come together, marching for miles.
It's awesome that there's so many people, you know.
On a mission with a message they carry downtown to the GOP town hall.
This country was founded on immigrants, and we're together here to, say we don't want Trump in office.
Michelle and David Hernandez marched together, carrying flags from their home countries. The married couple stands against what they call an anti-immigration message being spread by Donald Trump.
We don't want him trying to separate families and build some big crazy wall.
It's a sentiment shared by hundreds of protesters who say the GOP candidates are spreading a message of hate. Chants echo as the group fills downtown. They pass people along the way.
I guess overwhelming to see all these people.
Unsure of what to make of it all.
I wish they were out here for something more positive.
They end up at the Riverside Theater, barred by barricades and police, unable to get close. They stay hopeful even on the outside. Their voices will be heard.
It's a little bit slower typically on Mondays. Well, tonight is a pretty exciting night. Usually it's a lot more folders like this on the desk, a lot more phone calls. Dave Anderson, I head up the commercial bank here at 770 North Water. It'll light up, all the way out to Waukesha as you're coming into town. Employees get really excited about it.
So we got little blue on the top.
It's, kind of our part to kick off Summerfest.
So this is what it looks like before. This is behind the scenes.
18 floors of plastic. Want me to hold it?
So when this goes up.
Along the windows. It'll either be a blue or red.
This one is red.
A lot of red, little blue and white.
That corner. You get one wrong piece, you throw the whole thing off.
This would have been the third one that I messed up.
So if you look at here.
Ultimately, it'll be
the part of the grin.
Summerfest guitar and the Summerfest logo. Thank you.
This is your life through Summerfest.
Tape ladies.
I think it looks good.
And then I'm gonna go down and at least get it.
This is the 4th window.
Check it out.
This one should be full, that one should be over.
Yeah, I mean, everything it's definitely where it's supposed to be. Yep. We're good.
You'll come down Wells Street and you'll see the big smile, and you'll know it was all us.
Just kind of our way of just giving back.
Hi, welcome to Miller Park.
This is the opening shot.
Hi, welcome to Miller Park.
For opening day.
Thanks, have a good day.
And Larry Irvin just might be the first person to greet you.
Welcome to Miller Park.
Irvin will tell you there is an attraction to this game of baseball.
Exciting, energetic.
A pull fans may feel no stronger than on opening day. A Wisconsin winner still trying to hang on loses its grip with every pitch and every swing of the bat and every stamp of ink.
We keep in touch with our fans.
From Phyllis Purdoff.
OFF as in Fox. Purdoff.
Baseball has been bringing her to opening day for 60 years.
Way back when, 1953 for the Braves.
Purdoff admits a lifetime of baseball fandom has had devastating effects on her family.
I don't know how many grandmas and aunts died over all those years that I had to make an excuse from work to go to an opening day game.
Every year there's always something new at the ballpark. There's new food to try, there's new games for the kids. But the one new thing that gets fans the most excited is the new roster.
This year I'm excited because they have a lot of rookies, and I want to see them play for the first time.
And that notion actually isn't so new. It's timeless to the game itself. The attraction of opening day is the tradition of taking in a game and having that chance of watching players turn into heroes.
In the North Woods of Wisconsin, nature takes its time.
Morning.
The residents tend to do the same, which is why in his Loretta bar,
Trying to think of what's next here.
Reed Kane may seem a little frazzled.
Which side is which here? Okay.
On this day, there is something new.
Oh yeah.
A deadline.
Gotta keep moving. I gotta get a wrench.
That'll be good for bait.
Back in the woods,
They usually like to jump on white cloth.
time's ticking as well.
They'll jump out, they'll end up getting stuck on the blanket. Oh yeah.
It's open season.
Pine trees. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good sign.
For something you normally try and avoid.
I like to catch them a few days before and put them in training.
Dragging a sheet,
right there.
They get one more shot.
We got one.
Oh yeah.
We got one.
Of finding.
You bet.
A contender.
Careful with him, don't break his
Okay,
legs.
yeah, you can't break a leg. Well, it's exciting. I mean, where else can you race wood ticks except up in Loretta, Wisconsin?
In a place known for its downtime,
Okay.
it's race day.
Are you guys ready for some wood tick racing?
Tick races started out about 37 years ago with my father.
We got 100 on that horse.
It was Randy Kunert's father who came up with the idea.
Couple different rules. He happened to see a wood tick crawling up his arm.
One last tick for sale.
Wanted to figure out what he could do with it.
You can't blow the tick.
So they started racing him.
Who was Harry?
Randy now serves as host and judge.
Yeah, we could give him 2 minutes.
Pick a fast one.
Pick them up.
The rules are simple.
It's $1 a tick and $1 to register them.
So $2? Yep.
Name your parasite.
Tricky situation.
Tick-tastic.
This is Woody.
Try not to lose him.
We have to find the runaways.
Where did he go?
I don't know. Here he is.
This is the excitement.
And head to the starting circle.
Go! It's a race.
Come on, baby! Come on!
Look at Ricky go!
In a sport that is all about speed, it's not always a clean start. Sometimes the competitors need a little extra push. Maybe the ticks know.
No! Come on!
While the winner basks in the sweet sounds of victory,
Herbie!
Look at Jackpot, he's kind of showboat and waving to the crowd.
the loser, well, they may have given it their best shot, the only blood drawn is their own.
There's only one winner, and there's only one live tick at the end of the day. The rest get hit with a mallet.
That was great.
Wood tick racing's most unique rule, there is no consolation bracket.
We want just the fast hybrid ones. So we got to get rid of the ones that aren't quite so fast. So by eating them and smashing them, we're just helping the wood tick population to stay fast.
Well, the racers tell you this is a small-town tradition.
Nice, all right.
For the last 2 years, the sport's been in hibernation. The original host bar closed down. North Country's Hardwood Cafe has brought it back.
It's a race.
The 37th running, bringing a wood tick finale first.
3 races at one time.
This year's winner,
Howard is the winner.
Howard the Tick.
$24. Huge pot.
Congratulations.
And bragging rights that can be found no place
I'd like
else.
to thank all you guys.
With photojournalist
Welcome to the North Woods. It's just a great day.
If you know your classic movies, you know that stories with both a banjo and a river don't end well for paddlers.
The rhythm of the water.
But at Cedarburg's Boy Scout Park on Sunday, there was a deliverance from dark times and a return to characters that make us happy.
It was torn between Snoopy and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and I think the turtle won. And I think it actually works. It's sort of a deformed gourd.
Dave Slagle came home from New York just to visit family and was immediately put to work with a seemingly impossible task.
Yeah.
Turning a pumpkin
I don't know how
into not only something pretty,
pumpkins tend to sink.
but something seaworthy.
This is my first experience with an 800-pound pumpkin.
Oh, not that he'd be paddling it. His brother would be skippering this gutted gourd.
I don't want it to be just circles.
And just a few feet away, his nemesis, Steve Sievers, was trying to turn another overweight pumpkin into a sleek kayak.
I'm trying to thin out the pumpkin as much as possible to lighten it up. The lighter the better as far as I'm concerned, because I got to paddle it.
Maybe I'll take 4th place this year with 4 pumpkins, maybe 3rd.
Our first pumpkin!
Welcome to the Great Pumpkin Race, where local restaurants sponsor a crew to navigate the mighty Milwaukee River for nothing more than a charitable donation and bragging rights.
Oh, yeah.
Representing the Anvil!
Now hold up a second. If you're getting into a hollowed out, freakishly big piece of fruit and hoping it floats, do you really want to be representing a restaurant called the Anvil while you're doing it? But I digress.
I'm expecting a good race. I think it'll be tight.
Paddle around a buoy and back.
The green flag right here, that's your goal.
Oh, come on!
That's it!
There's no wagering here.
You can do it!
No need for odds makers when the whole thing is just on enough.
The guy's cutting him off.
In the quirky way we need more of these days.
He's riding his draft.
The Slagle boys apparently know their stuff. The Ninja Turtle came in first. A 5th win for Jim at the helm.
I'm getting too old for this.
Right behind him, Captain Seaver. The pumpkin race didn't last long, but the memories won't be squashed. This is the best kind of Pulp Fiction.
Yay!
It's a great place to come to work. Wind's hurting just a little bit.
For 7 years, the rolling hills of long fescue, short fairway grass, and smooth putting greens at Erin Hills Golf Course have been John Paddock's summer office.
Yeah, that's a lot of carry.
He walks over it, around it, and through it so many times
90, and then if you hit 90, you can go right at it.
that he's intimately knowledgeable about every aspect
150.
of the home of the 2017 U.S. Open Championship.
Tended? Would you like it tended? People are here because this course is special, and then because you can make it a little more fun. That was a smooth swing. Kind of the nuances of the course. One full cup. You know, make sure you miss much further left than you think, or take 3 extra clubs because it's more uphill. Maybe 1 less club. I mean, that helps them enjoy it. Good shot. Being here a long time. Yes. Nice out. Go. It's just fun.
Looping for players is a lot of work.
To the left, guys.
But it comes with rewards.
I mean, it's very important also to understand people. You've got 230 to the flag, but I want you to hit it between the flag and the steeple. I'm here to help them play golf and give them lines and read putts. 80%, maybe 70%. I'm also here to help them enjoy it, and that's, I think, as much about understanding people as it is about being knowledgeable. Good par. Much better, much better.
But being a caddy isn't the only way he understands and helps people or makes a living.
Teaching is a great way to do that. But here, I'm the president and the secretary and the head of HR and everything. Play that as long as all. I'm the product when it comes to playing the violin. Can I hear?
A job he's enjoyed much longer than he's been caddying is teaching violin and other string instruments in his hometown of Mequon.
It's a question of creating an income, basically. As a freelance musician, you have infinite options.
How many ups? How many ups? So before you even play, I want you to kind of dig in.
And when you work hard enough, then those chances, they come around, and the chances are teaching.
That's the way the second, a soft beginning.
And teaching doesn't lead to just more teaching. It leads to performance options, and it leads to playing gigs.
And does he play gigs? Ever since graduating from the University of Wisconsin, Paddock has worked hard enough and been fortunate enough to play around the world.
I just got to play with the Lucerne Symphony in Lucerne, Switzerland. That's where I work mostly as a performer, is in Switzerland. Switzerland, France, Germany, Italy, and played in Spain, the Czech Republic, Istanbul, and Croatia.
And it's because of the choices he's made that he's been able to live out his passion, which includes playing with one particular organization.
My dream is the Milwaukee Symphony. I saw them growing up. I've subbed with them a few times, and I love it. I'm giddy every time. I mean, I would be less excited to play with the New York Philharmonic than I am to play with Milwaukee because I grew up as a kid. But it's a question of putting things together to make it your life.
Which makes Paddock's walk one of fulfillment, and it's following a unique path to success.
I think it helps keep me balanced, or more balanced than I would be if I just played the violin.
Good. Do it again, do it again.
Maybe I would be a little better with the violin. Maybe I would play more with the Milwaukee Symphony, or more with more prestigious orchestras, or people would know my name more as John Paddock, the violinist.
Play the chord like it's this. Da, da, da.
It is this big. It's 130 to that pin. At the same time, I mean, I feel pretty balanced mentally and spiritually, and I feel good about what my life is, and this is part of it for sure. And then music balanced this out. If I work here for 20 out of 23 days, my shoulders are a little sore, my feet are a little sore.
Hey, thank you so much. Nice
meeting you. And violin can make me forget about all those things.
It's the time of year.
We have sets of gear set up for you guys, so come on over. We're gonna have fun out there.
So many are getting closer to the trees, heading into the forest
one by one
for an autumn adventure.
Fall, of course, is a attractive time for folks to come out.
The little flutters in the stomach.
Melissa Rotifer swallowing her nerves.
I'll be all right. We got the professionals out here.
Okay, you can go.
Taking a leap of faith.
Oh my God.
To Leaf Peak.
We were voted the best way to see Wisconsin's fall colors.
Wonderful.
You step on up.
Lake Geneva Canopy Tour zigzag guests through about 100 acres of forest. Well, the tours are offered all year long.
Yeah,
for one weekend each year.
No, I think it's gonna be hard.
Grab that trolley.
Success is judged not on how well you stay up,
Just praying and throwing and screaming.
but how well you fall.
We take them up there, get them all clipped in, and then 2 at a time. They'll race down and try to get it on the bullseye.
Send me $100.
Welcome
Whoever gets there first gets another 50.
Let's go next.
to the great
Kind of regretting it right now.
pumpkin drop.
You gotta drop it early. You know, you don't want to wait too long. You'll overshoot the target.
Of the more than 400 who try, few succeed.
I would guess 10%.
About to drop the pumpkin.
Would-be jack-o'-lanterns torpedoed into a growing gourd graveyard.
Frankly, we leave them and the deer clean them up.
If you're looking for advice,
Close your eyes and aim.
you're on your own.
Chug it hard. That was a good.
Here we go.
Once on the zip line, it's time to focus. Speed can reach over 30 miles per hour. You only get one shot as you close in for the pumpkin drop of your life.
If you hit it, you're really good, and you get a prize.
Yeah, I got my Frisbee, right?
For the many who miss, their dreams of hitting the bullseye may be squashed, but the seeds have been planted. Just 4 more seasons until their next shot.
This is the greatest time I've ever had.
In Lake Geneva, a photojournalist.
You could call this a special delivery of a very serious substance.
Yes, 16 again.
Hauled in from locations across the state.
7.
Weighed, stacked, and shipped with the utmost care.
And I personally watch every single box go into the incinerator. I have to witness them going in.
Then burned to nothing.
Yes, it takes a long time.
Danielle Long is the only face we can show you, as the results come in from Wisconsin's prescription drug take-back program.
We want to dispose of these in a proper way.
Voices like this belong to agents whose sensitive and often dangerous work require anonymity.
Many of which do work that is undercover, so we are not identifying those individuals.
But what we can see is box upon box of controlled substances handed over by the public. The Department of Justice holds 2 take-back weekends each year. Last October, they totaled more than 44,000 pounds. Now consider how much one pill weighs and the good being done.
I mean, 44,000 pounds. You think about that.
To keep them off the streets.
That is a lot of medication.
This may look
Okay, ready?
like a lot of work.
319! 319!
And maybe it is.
Are you saying hi?
But oh, the things we
Are
do
you saying hi?
for a beautiful face.
You're getting so old.
Since bringing Charlie home last October, the Salkirks have the post-travel routine down.
Well, this is a suction machine.
Can you help me?
Though it's hard to say anything is routine when a Sheboygan family offers its home to children who are terminally ill.
Yes, we can.
Charlie cannot breathe or swallow on his own. He suffered brain damage before and during birth. He requires 24 hours of care, which this family is happy to give.
The hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, generally children don't live past the age of 2.
Corey Salkert, a registered nurse, and her family began fostering terminally ill babies more than 3 years ago. Before Charlie, 2 young children shared their final moments in this home.
Charlie has people who love him and who care about him, and he definitely has quality of life.
And the mother of 8
Anyone could do this if they had heart for it.
has a lot of help all under the same roof, including her husband Mark.
Kind of evolved into this, where we're taking in children that have special needs.
The Salkerts understand at 21 months old, Charlie may not have much time left.
But the sunshine that comes in through the window, he just very much enjoys.
But their mission isn't to save lives, rather provide a dying child with unconditional love, which is why a job that may seem daunting at first
I hear you.
is actually
Yeah.
incredibly fulfilling.
Let's show him your room. Come on.
When a grown woman tells you she can't live without her duck, it's only natural to wonder,
I'm not making this up.
how does a duck
Are you such a good duck?
help?
They have something that they have access to that humans don't.
Carla Fitzgerald says her feathered friend is more toddler than waddler. He plays with toys. He takes showers. He even wears a diaper.
Daniel Flip. Good duck.
But most importantly, she says he can sense an anxiety attack before she even knows she's having one.
It's almost like he's trying to climb my leg and he's yelling it as loud as he can. Ma, 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 ma.
Fitzgerald suffers post-traumatic stress from an accident when a car struck the horse and carriage she was operating in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward.
I got catapulted out and landed on that drawbridge. Let's put on our shoes.
3 years later, she's still afraid to leave the house alone.
So I started seeing a psychologist. Yep. Flip duck.
And for each appointment,
Right turn.
she brings along Daniel, her 3-year-old Indian runner.
And I could see that there was real comfort there.
Dr. Constance Hartney has seen for himself
Hop? Good hopping.
how Daniel calms his client.
I became convinced that the duck was sensitive to her emotional changes.
So Dr. Hartney wrote her a letter saying Daniel is therapeutic.
Where are you going?
Now she takes Daniel almost everywhere she goes. In the car, to the movies, to church.
You want a noodle?
Even out for a quick bite of lunch.
When he's in public, he behaves.
The trouble started when she decided to get an apartment in Cudahy.
Oh, we can't allow that. We can't allow that.
Brian, you always learn something new in this job.
Cudahy Mayor John Hohenfeld says when they first got wind of a duck moving to town, it ruffled a few feathers in the health department.
When you think about a suburban community, are ducks the most cleanliest animal?
They even proposed a new ordinance
for there being ownership of ducks within the city limits.
Then decided to hold off while the city attorney did more legal research.
This is nothing more than bullying. That's all that it is.
Turns out federal law not only protects your right to live with an emotional support animal, it allows you to take them on airplanes. But therapy animals have become increasingly controversial as more exotic creatures show up where standard pets aren't even allowed, like the unruly pig kicked off a U.S. Airways flight 2 years ago, the kangaroo a couple tried to bring into a Beaver Dam McDonald's last year, or the turkey spotted flying Delta just last month. In fact, complaints about support animals on airplanes have tripled in the last 6 years, raising questions about whether some pet owners are abusing the system.
That's a problem. That is a big problem.
After all, getting a doctor to designate your pet a therapy animal is easy. Just Google emotional support animals, click one of the myriad links for a doctor's letter, and fill out an online medical exam.
Do you feel depressed on a daily basis? We'll say yes.
It took me about 30 minutes.
Preferred emotional support pet would be goat.
And a $159 charge on my credit card. And 2 days later, I had a letter from a real psychotherapist I'd never met, never even talked to on the phone. She diagnosed me with an unspecified mental health condition and prescribed me 1 goat for emotional support.
Come on, girl.
So with the help of a local goat farmer, we borrowed a 70-pound Nubian boar mix named, of all things, Ducky. And we hit the big city. First stop,
you're gonna love it in here.
The Milwaukee Art Museum.
It's an emotional support animal. Oh, it is? Yeah.
Needless to say,
first time at the museum,
we drew a crowd.
Is she a helper?
She's an emotional support animal.
We also got into the museum without any trouble. Ducky was instantly the most popular exhibit.
He's so cute. Hi, sweetie.
Everyone loved Ducky. Well, maybe not everyone.
Quick mop over mirror for Steve's display.
Look at my camera.
Within minutes, the goat at the museum was a social media sensation. But we didn't stop there. We took Ducky into Starbucks, Lululemon, the Marcus South Shore Cinema, and the Milwaukee Public Market.
Is there any way people to go outside? We don't allow animals in here.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is my emotional support animal.
But we don't even allow dogs in there.
At any sign of resistance, I just pulled out my therapist's note.
I have a letter.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that did the trick.
This is my emotional support animal.
Okay, you said that you're
I do.
A quick scan of my official documentation and...
At this point, I'm going to say we're good.
Ducky and I had a front row seat for Tina Fey's latest flick.
It speaks well for our city's open-mindedness.
It also speaks to a rising concern in the disability community.
That there are people out there maybe playing this card when they really don't deserve to play it.
Kit Kirschensteiner is managing attorney for Disability Rights Wisconsin.
A lot of people think I have an emotional support animal, I can take them on the bus, I can take them into Walgreens or the restaurant. That's not the point of the animal.
While full-fledged service animals like guide dogs can go anywhere their owners go, federal protection of emotional support animals only applies to housing and air travel.
You ask permission. You have to ask permission.
But most people don't know that.
I have a letter.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So schemers can easily take advantage.
That's making it harder for people with disabilities.
She's afraid they'll ruin it.
Oh, Daniel, you're such a good duck.
For people like Carla Fitzgerald.
This is my emotional support animal. I need him.
After further review, the city of Cudahy informed Fitzgerald she can live there with Daniel after all.
And I said, Carla, I never said I don't want you living in the community. I just want to make sure we're doing it right.
You might say it's a feather in the cap.
Yes, yes.
For disability rights.
All I'm asking is to live peacefully and quietly with my duck.